Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today we're featuring Marvel superheroes featuring the Incredible Hulk number 105. Published in 1981, 1982 by Marvel Comics. Reprinting Hulk 157, which was originally produced in 1972. Amazing Herb Trimpe cover, reprinting the cover from 157. We have an excellent Sal Buscema corner piece here. And we have some of my favorite cover features, cover dialogue. Rhino thinks, "That's it, Greenskin. Just look the other way for one more second, and you'll never look at anything again." Meanwhile, Hulk says, Jim, Rhino hurt you bad, but Hulk will make him pay." And our tagline is, "The Rage of the Rhino." So we've got a great Hulk Rhino slobber knocker ahead of us here. Let's dig right in. Awesome splash page. Name my vengeance, Rhino. A Stan Lee production. Archie Goodwin writer. Herb Trimpe artist. Sal Trapani inker. Gene Simic letterer, Roy Thomas editor. And our colorist is sadly uncredited, but I do believe this is Marie Severin on colors here. And she does an incredible job, as always, an unsung hero of Marvel past. It is said the monster that men call the Hulk has two moods, very angry and explosive. Why then does he sit as we see him now, silent, brooding, almost pensive, insensitive to the brackish, befouled waters about him, oblivious to the new day dawning beyond his dank hiding place? Something has happened to you, Hulk, but like Bob Dylan's Mr. Jones, you don't know what it is. Last night, you completed an incredible journey, Hulk, from a microcosm in an atom to this. And before your presence could be discovered, you took refuge here, in this drainage pipe, emptying into the New Jersey marshland that borders the polluted Hudson. Here you sit and sometimes pace, trying to even dimly understand the sense of hurt, of loss you feel. But of the many powers bestowed on your great green form, thought and memory are scarcely in the forefront. And in this, there is perhaps a kind of mercy. Boy, Archie Goodwin is really killing it with the script here. Just lush, great writing. You vaguely recall having found the subatomic world of Jarella, Emerald Queen, who loved you for yourself. But you do not remember her plea that your planned marriage take place soon, or your refusal until the war with her enemy, Visus, was won. Or that war's aftermath, when the serum that shrank you to microcosmic scale wore off, to leave you staring helplessly down at your beloved as you vanished into the clouds. Or that, as the force of your unchecked growth thrust your colossal form into the subatomic void, your foot struck Jarella's world, sending it careening out of orbit. Yes, Hulk, there is mercy in your halting memory. It spares you much, yet it cannot totally blunt some strange, unexplained aching deep within you, nor stem a tear which flows from your eye. The Trapani artwork in this issue is nothing short of stunning, amazing, gobsmackingly good, and we're really just getting started. So for a time, the Hulk seeks solitude, but there are other seekers abroad, such as this one, orbiting the very Earth, hidden from all detection by electromagnetic force screens, a seeker speaking with the cold, unemotional voice of a machine. So here we have Omnivac, the leader's supercomputer, and this is the leader's orbiting base / spaceship, and it has detected the Hulk, and of all things the leader wants to accomplish, vengeance against the Hulk is uppermost in his mind. And the computer says to the leader, it's sort of a one-way conversation at this point. There is no reason why you cannot proceed with your plan using modification B3, which we devised to compensate for injury factor. Unless you have objections, sir, I will immediately launch the shuttlecraft. Cool looking shuttlecraft. Trimpe is so good at illustrating tech. Very, very able and creative when it comes to that. Love this ad, X-Men Index ad here with the cool figure work. Looks like Cockrum. Meanwhile, back on Earth, amid the desert country of New Mexico lies the home of USAF Mobile Combat Force One, more commonly known as Project Greenskin or the Hulkbuster Base. Here we will find more Seekers. Seekers who have gathered in this building, the base chapel. For these are seekers after happiness. Right, Major Talbot, you kiss Ms. Ross, and then the two of you will turn back up the aisle, husband and wife. And you have my personal guarantee, no matter how disastrous the rehearsal may seem. Tomorrow's ceremony will be perfect. Add my word to the Padres. In fact, being base commander as well as father of the bride, I may just make that an order. So here we have General Ross, his daughter Betty, erstwhile love of Bruce Banner, the Hulk, and her new love interest, Glenn Talbot. They're about to tie the knot. They all think at this point, once again, that the Hulk is either dead or gone. This is countless times it's happened, and he always turns up again. And the Hulk's dear friend, Jim Wilson, one of his only friends in the world, finds himself an odd spectator of this pre-wedding ceremonial preparation. The Major ain't a bad guy, just so gosh awful straight. It makes your backbone ache. Maybe Miss Ross has decided he's the one to make her happy. But I'll always be a Doc Banner rooter. Won't ever feel right about this. If all I can add to the festivities is a long feast, maybe I better split. So Jim Wilson offers hastily invented excuses, and if you're sure you won't reconsider, son, at least try to keep in touch. Sure, General, later, huh? Old Ross, he means well, but what did he ever really have in common? What did we ever really have in common? I was the Hulk's friend, that's all. I could help at controlling him, keeping him from hurting himself and others. Well, there ain't been a Hulk since everybody's decided poor Doc Banner got his in that Hydra mess. So who needs you now, Jimbo? Nobody here, that's certain. So they're pointing back to a story in 154 when the Hulk vanished into the micro world for a time. So Jim Wilson is going to hitch a ride with some Air Force guys. And he is actually, while he's from LA, he is going to, by coincidence, go to New Jersey to visit some friends. These, then, have been the Seekers. Move now to the West Coast, Jim Wilson, once called home, and meet one who neither seeks nor searches, or for that matter, even moves. He's been in a coma state since admittance, and there's never been a clue in all these months. We call him our mystery patient, Doctor. He was found in the hills in this condition. The appearance of the ground around him indicated he'd fallen from a great height, but no one really understands how he survived. Reports say he had on the tattered remnants of some kind of gray outfit, but surely that couldn't have saved him. Curious indeed, nurse, but having shown the new man our local oddity, perhaps now you can introduce me to some of the hospital's paying clientele. And it is well that the doctor and nurse leave, for even their highly trained senses might reel at what next occurs, as something, call it a ray or beam, or better, a force, strikes this motionless mountain of a man, doing what modern medicine has thus far failed to do, making him move, rise, and walk, making him throw open a door, step unsteadily into a quiet corridor, then lumber toward confrontation with an astounded orderly. Hey, you're that vegetable from 203. You can't be walking. You can't. Whoom. So Rhino just backhands this guy into unconsciousness and then bursts out of the hospital. And as a kid, when we had this, we traded this book back and forth as 11, 12-year-old kids. And I was blown away because I remember seeing the Rhino in his outfit all the time, seeing him on the Spider-Man cartoon, seeing him in other issues of Hulk, and in Spider-Man comics as well. And seeing him out of his uniform, it was really cool. And we never really got the name of the Rhino, and I don't think it's ever been really revealed what his name is, unless it's been in modern comics. But here he is outside of his uniform and now under the control of the leader. For in these night-shrouded hills, where first he was found, something waits to carry him away. Omnivac reporting, sir. Your mental summons, powered through my cybernetic amplification system, has had the desired effect. Our subject approaches the shuttlecraft. Patience, sir. Soon he will join us. So, very cool. The shuttle takes him back to the leader's orbiting ship. And here we finally see the leader healing from some injuries. Yes, fool. I sense the stirring of recognition deep within your comatose brain. I am indeed he whom you, like my eternal enemy, the Hulk, hate, the leader. No doubt, if you had full control of your rather slim faculties, you might rejoice in my current state. I am completely paralyzed, totally dependent upon this automatic capsule, operated, as is the entire satellite, by my master computer, Omnivac. But the leader's strength lies not in the body, but in the gamma-spawn superiority of his mind, a mind that has mastered telepathic communication, such as I now use, to appraise your brute brain of the certain pertinent facts. Yes, when last we met, you nearly killed me by attacking my escape module. Stop! The craft will explode! And did, forcing me to a more limited escape device and hurling you to Earth. That was way back in Hulk 124. I survived to plot again against the Hulk, against the world. It ended with the Hulk-induced explosion of my hidden lab. That was in Hulk 147. Though the blast hid my escape through the launching of this satellite, it left me the cripple you now behold. The automatic capsule should have cured me, but damage was done to the satellite as well. Omnivac has been unable to complete proper repairs, so the leader must find another body, a fabulously strong body, with a weak mind. I thought immediately of you, old friend, now at close range, under full brunt of my mental bolts. Though you loathe me for seemingly turning against you the first time we teamed, you will cooperate totally. Move into the adjoining chamber. Don the garments you find there, as my mental bombardment continues until your own will and being are erased, and the personality of another inscribed in their place. For when you emerge as the creature which radiation-simulated strength has led you to become, it will be with my hand, the mind of the leader in the body of the Rhino. I've done it. Do you hear, Omnivac? I control the form of one of the most able to destroy the Hulk, to avenge that grotesqueries crippling me. I perceive it on every sensor, sir, and I compute complete success. It is a pleasure to serve an intellect of your caliber. Bakum! Great panel here by Trimpe as the Rhino, now possessed by the full power and intellect of the leader, bursts free from this chamber. Very cool. And I loved this older version of the leader that actually had mental powers that he could wield. He could brain blast people, possess them, telepathically control them, and do other marvelous things with his mind. Later on, as the 80s wore on, it seemed like those powers were stripped away inexplicably or memory hold in some way, till we got to the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, and they were barely mentioned at all as powers. Kind of bummed me out as a kid because the leader is one of my favorite villains, and the Hulk has such a bevy of incredible villains. He kind of inherited the Rhino from Spider-Man, but I see him more as a Hulk villain than a Spider-Man villain, really. So, back in New Jersey, the Hulk starts to rage again. He can't be complacent for long. And meanwhile, Jim Wilson finds himself stuck in traffic, and in a coincidence that almost defies belief, he winds up in New Jersey at the time. Hulk comes back from the microverse, and holy crud! Hard to believe your eyes, isn't it, Jim Wilson? Even as you run forward, past stalled vehicles and fleeing passengers, toward a fantastic figure written off as dead, as gone. Men and machines, always making trouble for Hulk. You would not stop so Hulk could cross the road. Now Hulk is stopping you. We'll keep bashing, throwing, until all your machines, with their smoke, their smells, are no more. Trimpe's Hulk is so blocky and powerful. I love it. He's not a chiseled muscle man like later versions of the Hulk would be. He's just a primal force, and we see that in his shape and his motion, and Trimpe imbues him with that. No, Hulk, stop it. Kid, are you nuts? You're running the wrong way. What? Mere boy dares to yell at Hulk. Hulk will. Look at me, man. Listen. It's Jim, your buddy, your friend, Jim Wilson. You gotta remember me. Hulk has no friends. Not in this world. You got me, man. Think about it. Why else would I be risking my neck like this? I'm Jim Wilson, Hulk. Jim Wilson? Hulk does remember. It has been a long time. You were alone, different, just like Hulk. That is why we became friends. You got it, man. Now come on, we have to split. This way, Hulk, into the refinery grounds. We can lose ourselves among the storage tanks and stuff before the cops show up. So, knowing that Jim knows best, Hulk follows him. And in time, he calms down and shifts back into Bruce Banner. We got to find a better hiding spot than, Doc Banner changed back from the Hulk. He always did have a calming effect on him, Jim. How could you feel now? Could you fill a very dazed and disoriented ex-nuclear physicist in on what's going on? And that filling in inevitably touches on the coming marriage of Betty Ross and Major Glenn Talbot. Hate being the one to lay the bad news on you, Doc. It shouldn't affect me, Jim. When I first turned to Jarella and her world, I gave up any claim to Betty's affections, and yet it does. It does. The sense of loss, of knowing that underneath sane circumstances, this wedding would be mine. Only a nuclear accident made me the Hulk, doomed me from ever having the pleasant, normal life Betty and Talbot will enjoy. And I resent it, Jim. It infuriates me, makes me want to lash out, to hit, crush, destroy, and no. Oh, Lord, no. Awesome sequence of panels here from Trimpe and Trapani, and hopefully colorist Marie Severin, showing this almost transformation into the Hulk, but Banner gets control of himself and dials his emotions down. I won't lose control, won't revert back to the Hulk. Betty deserves the happiness she'll find tomorrow. That monster mustn't reappear to spoil it. For Betty's sake, the Hulk must remain dead. Now, how noble, Dr. Banner. How amusing. Oh, man, it's the Rhino, but that voice, its intonations, belong to the leader, my dear Banner, as does a rapidly formulating new plan for revenge. Actually, it is a variation on an earlier scheme in which Leader and Rhino interrupted your pending nuptials with Betty Ross, but far more promising than merely battering you into oblivion. Your regard for the woman still seems to be such that an appearance by me at this new ceremony would be challenged, I believe, by that of the Hulk. So they're referring again back to Hulk 124. Even though the lady he fights for might well be fatally harmed in the ensuing battle. Of course, if he doesn't appear, so great would be my rage, Miss Ross undoubtedly wouldn't survive anyway. I leave the choice to you, Banner. I'm off to my shuttlecraft. I have a wedding to attend. So, Banner is angry. He's losing control. Jim Wilson tries to intercede. He's knocked senseless by the Rhino's incredible power. Another backhand. Rhino, Leader, whoever you are, if you thought doing that to Jim would drive me to lose control, force me to become the Hulk, you were right. Another one of those incredible transformation panel sequences here. So awesome. Trimpe just nails it. This is a great Marie Severin ad for subscribers. Totally awesome. Love it. She had such a gift for humor and animation in these characters. And Hulk lets no one hurt his friend, especially not stupid foe in funny animal suit. The only stupidity in evidence is yours, brute. This costume was as redesigned by me, is able to withstand the greatest of shocks. And if ever you had a match in sheer savagery and raw power, it is the Rhino. Rhino? Rhino! Hulk may recall an enemy by that name. Something is wrong. You don't talk like enemy, Hulk remembers. Because something beyond that great horned clawed simple mind now guides this body. The intellect of the leader, which means my cretinous colossus, that though we be equals perhaps in mere might, I think and act far more swiftly, as the snapping of your ox-like neck may inform you. Just a really cool battle panel here of Trimpe's devising, where the Rhino just reaches out and tries to snap the Hulk's neck with his bare hands. Great shot, great shot. Blam! Hulk is stronger than Ox, Greyhide, so strong enough to break your feeble grip. And when it comes to ways to hit, to smash, Hulk can think and act as fast as any. And if that doesn't make you believe, Animal Suit, just keep watching. I will not remain a stunned, unmoving target monster. Hulk doesn't care what kind of target you are, Rhino, just so he smashes you. You are good, Hulk. I was mistaken to underestimate your instinct and flair for all-out brute brawling. But those qualities cannot replace intelligent application of power and ability. Like this Neanderthal. Ugh, those horns. Tremendous shot here of the Rhino using his horns to good effect after charging at the Hulk at speed, using that leverage and power to flip the Hulk over him. Yes, Hulk, the horns of the Rhino are able to flip you exactly where I intend. And while you struggle to extricate yourself from amid tons of shattered metal and crude oil, I shall begin to guide this charade in the direction I wish it to go. Omnivac, awaiting and ready, sir. Suggestion, sir. A simple revenge plan has become overly complex, muddled. This may be influence of the Rhino's brute nature. But if you'd wait for your automatic repairs, so your own body, suggested, noted, computer, and overruled. Now sustain a liftoff course that enables this brute to spy us. A ship flying from beyond the tanks. It must belong to enemy. Rhino, you will not get away so easy. And when you have not when you have hurt Hulk's friend Jim. Great panel of Hulk extricating himself from the debris and the oil. Hulk, wait. I'm conscious again, man. I'm okay. Don't go after him. That's just what he wants. But you hear nothing, do you, Hulk? Are aware of nothing but that gleam of silver signaling an escaping foe. And you know it must not be. And so, with all the gamma ray spawn power of your great thewed legs, you jump, leap, soar into the night sky. Great panel showing the leaping Hulk following the contrail of the leader's escape plane. Until your vice-strong fingers strike and grasp glowing steel. So impossibly, the Hulk captures the shuttle in mid-flight. Now, Rhino, now! No matter where you go, Hulk will be with you. Oh no, Hulk. Oh man. Too late for crying, Jimbo. Ain't nothing for it now but to get to that phone and warn General Ross. He's back in the Hulk-busting business. And soon, as dawn breaks in the New Mexico sky, a shaken man places down a receiver, knowing that if the best dreams of men sometimes come true, so likewise do their worst nightmares. The call was a report of a strange aircraft's crash in the nearby desert. One occupant was on the scene, unconscious. Another was rampaging away from the site, assuring that whatever happiness General Thunderbolt Ross's daughter, Betty, might find as Mrs. Glenn Talbot, the Incredible Hulk was back to stay in their lives. For better or for worse, back to stay. Follow the continuing adventures of the Incredible Hulk in his own magnificent monthly Marvel magazine. And we have a great pin up here. This looks like his first night. Artists Greg LaRocque and Armando Gil present their rendition of Dr. Banner's first faithful transformation into Comicdom's most misunderstood green-skinned gentleman. And yes, that's Rick Jones in the background, in case you were wondering. This is very early Greg LaRocque when he had his original work for Marvel. And boy, Armando Gil can animate a penciler's work. This is dynamite. And I love this. And this, we're going to find out here in a second, is the last issue of the Marvel Superheroes featuring the Incredible Hulk reprint title. That's why we're getting these cool panels, pin-ups at the end. And that's why we got this little note here. Yeah, that even doesn't look like Trimpe there. This might have been added in. I'm going to have to double check that in my Epic collection. Because these did sometimes vary from the original. This is a great Hulk the Barbarian. Know, O reader, that between the year when the Gamma Bomb leveled the Gleaming Tower and the rise of the sons of Stan, there was an age undreamed of. Hither came Hulk, the Incredible, green-haired, sullen-eyed, sword in hand, with gigantic melancholies and gigantic girth, to tread the hallowed halls of marble in his bare feet. And that is listed as the Trimpian Chronicles, so a take on the Hyborian Chronicles. Really great pin-up done by Trimpe, circa 1981, as a commemoration of the end of the reprint title. And here we have a final word from the Hulk. What is this? Marvel Superheroes has been canceled? Stupid editor. How will Hulk's fans be able to read Hulk's old stories? Well, I guess they'll just have to buy the old Hulk comics. Bah, it's a good thing that the Hulk was a complete collection, or Hulk would smash, you puny editor. Hulk's readers better continue to buy Hulk's new stories, or Hulk will smash. Should they consider that a warning? Yes. Not sure who did this one. Could be Sal, but actually I think it's Herb Trimpe. That's a Trimpe Hulk there. Later Trimpe, 80s Trimpe, but still a Trimpe Hulk. Very cool. Yeah, it would have been awesome to see this title continue. As this was reprinting Hulk 157, it would have taken them 3 more years to get to 181, reprinting that. It would have been cool, though, to see them reprint all those issues. But this was the final issue of Marvel Superheroes featuring the Incredible Hulk. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.